Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, and for some of you, it's earlier than it sometimes is. And for me, it's also earlier than it sometimes is, but not according to the clock, which you can see right behind me, which is correct. Happy Daylight Savings Day? I had no idea. I had no idea up until like an hour ago, and it was only because Ladybug admitted that she changed the clock on the oven. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. I feel like it was kind of weird because I woke up at like 9:30, and I was like, I've been getting up at like 8 or 8:30 every day. It's weird that I slept in today like so late. But I was like, all right, well, I guess that's life. It's Sunday, it's fine. And I got up, and Ladybug told me that she changed the oven clock. So yeah. So anyways, welcome. My name is Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. If you've never been here before, I stream. I play songs that I've written, and chit chat about things going on. Yeah. So, who we got? Who's hanging out today? Who's here on a Sunday? At a different time than normal. Emily is here. Knacker is here. Thunderbands is here. Paul is here. Cornfield Cryptid. Tuva What. Coin. Jan Janssen. Bryce Card. I feel like a lot of regulars. Not seeing any new names. It's just the core crew today. Did I need to change my safe word? Reverse clock for daylight savings. Yeah, I moved it an hour. Don't worry. Jelly Crab is here. The biggest of men type order is here. Cool. So what do y'all want me to play? Feel free to throw out suggestions. The thing on my mind right now, Brian Schwartz is here and is now a regular. Yeah. So the thing on my mind today is we're doing this little March Madness competition where I put all the songs of that Bug Hunter has released since Torn Between a Couple, and basically been put them in a bracket, and people can vote on them. They can vote on Instagram, and they can vote on my website. And each platform gives a point, and whoever has the most points wins. That's only 2. I know what you're saying. 2 means that there should be ties. There have been ties. The tiebreakers are the postcards that I have on our website that are half off on any particular day that that a song is being voted on. So if you want, today is bragging versus making up words. That's the tiebreaker. And then the final tiebreaker is the maximum drama rule break. The maximum drama rule, which it means if everything is tied at that point, a tie on Instagram between Instagram website and a tie on the postcards, then whoever has the least amount of streams in the last 24 hours wins, because I like rooting for underdogs, and I think it's funny. So yesterday there was a huge upset in the March Madness bracket. Too Bad, Too Bad and a Ghost lost to Who I'm Singing To. My second most popular song lost to maybe my second to last most popular song. It's definitely in like the bottom 10. So I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the full bracket here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. There it is. Oh, that's too big. Here's what I just brought up. Here you go. Here's the full bracket. It is too large. Let me zoom this little guy out because he's way too big. But as you can see, at least from this point of view, Dear McCracken beat Listen to Your Mom. Robin of Bank beat Deserve Me. Not Like That beat Not Like That lost to Go With the Flow, but it was very close. That was essentially a tie as well. That really came down to here. Now we can see. I'll just block my face, it doesn't matter. Now you can see the whole bracket. Okay, Jams, an upset is a phrase. It doesn't mean that people are upset. It's just a different word. It's an upset because it was unexpected, but no one's upset. people are downset about this. Yeah, Jay McCracken beat Listen to Your Mom. Robbing a Bank beat Deserve Me. Go with the Flow beat Not Like That. Bedtime Story won. Take It Back beat Magic 8. Another close call, Point to Prove versus Key to Being Lonely. That also came down to postcards. Point to Prove won that one. Be Glad I Love You almost lost to the Gulf Coast if it wasn't for a postcard. Alchemical Romance beat Piano Teacher, and then Who I'm Singing To just beat Too Bad Too Bath and a Ghost, which this is the first time that Too Bad Too Bath was in the bracket, and it lost its first ever matchup. So I think that's funny. So yeah, today is Making Up Words and Bragging. Tomorrow is one that I'm very interested because it's the two singles that preceded Happiness coming out, which was Shocking Plot Twist and Platonic Best Friend. So I guess we'll get an idea of which single was the best one out of those two, which I actually don't know, because Shocking Plot Twist is the more popular song, but some people feel like Platonic has a little bit more longevity than Shocking Plot Twist on account of its its nature, I guess. Yeah, so anyways, that's the bracket. Why don't I play a song? What do y'all want to hear? I know what I need to play? Okay. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. Okay. Yeah, all right, fine. Here's the song y'all love so much. I do love this song. This is our show closer for many years before we got popular and had to stop playing it. So it's a rare play now. I played it once on the UK tour in Southampton, I believe. But other than that, I think I just played it in Denver on the US tour, and I beefed it. I messed up the lyrics, so. Step 1, you write a simple chorus. Don't you bore us with an intro or a clever little verse. Step 2, stop pretending there's some kind of formula for making it. I've never been so sure. Only time will tell me if I'm something, if I'm cursed or if I'm cunning, if I'm talented or stale. Every song is an attempt to just impress you. It's an educated guess to light a bulb or ring a bell. So here I am as I cut corners on a left turn up a sentimental street. And all I do to make my parents proud of who I am or who I'm about to be. Yeah, here I am, gotta hand it to me. I can write a tune, I guess success just still depends on who I'm singing to. Tackiness, I'm disoriented, so distracted from my bit. But should I fight to force the issue when I'm out of lubricant to help this? To help my words come easy, to help to ease the heat we generate when friction, wishing inspiration wouldn't treat me like I'm a leper. Build me right up to the edge of a legend, just to pull back, leaving fame inside my head. I'm at an open mic, feeling like that token guy. Please buy my CDs, it's worth $10, but I'll take a 5. There's so much talent balanced on a rusty knife. Can I compete with guys who have been playing their entire lives? For I am tied to my manners and my language, cause hex bet you're esoteric, tearing down these local artists as too poppy or generic. It's apparent you regard your judgment in such high esteem. It's as welcome as Americans as tourists overseas. I'm seeing people asking where they go to find my stuff, and yeah, I'm up on iTunes next to every band with $30. A dozen albums holding me, it's like a treasure. Well, I guess I'm far from Guinness, I'm not setting any records. I'm making indie music that'll never top the charts. Like the greatest chefs will tell you, my fan base is getting larger. I'm half a hermit, introverted, if I'm honest. In fact, here's a testament to how badly I want it. Cause I've no aversion to searching, to look or wonder, to try out different styles or to leave my zone of comfort. I'll flirt with burning candles and they'll either all extinguish or they'll blacken all my fingers till I lose all sense of feeling. I like my girls like I like my schedule hectic. I like beauty, smarts, and talent, but that order's alphabetic. I'm a sucker for independence, a girl who needs her space. I used to cling like static back when I was a teenager. I may never recapture the happiness of that first love. I was unaware of what a heartache really was. So now I guard a little harder, lusting for a crush, and I can see it's so unhealthy when it bubbles up at once. I'm not breaking any ground. This problem's pretty ancient. It's a fabric of the classic passed down every generation. So summarize a song for all the people that have been watching this. Find another artist if you don't like stream of consciousness. And here I am, gotta hand it to me. I can write a tune, I guess success just still depends on who I'm singing to. Thanks, everybody. Maybe who I'm singing to deserved it. I will say, of all my songs, who I'm singing to, the difference between the live version and the recorded version is probably McCracken Can Rock is probably the largest like deficit. I feel like the recording of who I'm singing to, that was when I was just recording things in my closet and nobody was listening to Buck Hunter, and I was like, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, I think the live version is better than the album version, and I think that's why that probably accounts for why who I'm singing to hasn't gotten as much traction as Making Up Words. So, like, Making Up Words is like an every set list song, and who I'm singing to is like people have to beg me to put it on the set list, because it's like 4 minutes live. It's 5 minutes on the record, but I don't play all the instrumentals live because they're too long. Anyways, it's just a long song, and people don't know it as well because they don't listen to it as much. So how do I breathe during that song? Just take one big one right at the top. Let's do a little cozy Q&A if people want to just hang out and chat. Got a couple of new people here. Magic Bread and Cowboy Laser Cat are first time making the stream. Glad you can make it. This is what I did. Yeah, I play music, I chit chat, talk about things going on in my world. The biggest one, while you come up with your questions that you want to be able to ask me, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll read through them. What's my favorite bread? You can't choose pancakes. That's not a fair question then. Pancakes is my favorite bread. The biggest urgent thing going on in my world right now is that the season 1 recap of I guess we're calling it the retrospective, is what me and Matt have landed on, of Jam Mechanics is dropping tomorrow. So it'll be our longest episode without any of the stuff that makes a normal Jam Mechanics episode. We don't write songs for it, but we did 10 episodes for Jam Mechanics, and we wanted to have one more episode where we kind of just collected our thoughts. We have a couple of cool things in the episode that I think people really like. We came up with 4 pretty fun sections of the actual episode itself. So, you know, we do the normal the banter, just kind of like the asking each other questions, the icebreakers. So we took questions this time from our Discord, just people who had icebreaker questions from the Discord. Those were very fun. And then we kind of looked back at how people ranked our songs. So we had a Google form. We took audience questions about kind of like jam mechanics and like our music and stuff. And then we did a pretty fun thing with some old songs. So I'm excited for y'all to hear it tomorrow. So yeah, Coin S, I really hope you keep the icebreakers in season 2. They're very fun. Yeah, I think we've settled into a pretty good format that we are going to mess with for season 2, but we're not going to like radically change. I think what we might do, because a lot of people, when they listen to the show, if you haven't watched or listened to Jam Mechanics yet, it is a song challenge podcast where me and Matt from the Narcissist Cookbook, we get online together and we challenge each other to a songwriting challenge. So, for example, the challenges have been things like Matt has given me a wiki roulette link, and whatever random Wikipedia page it opened, I had to write a song about it. Or I told Matt once, you have to write a song where the initials of the title are Bug, B-U-G. So you can come up with whatever title you want, but the title has to have the initials of B-U-G. And so Matt then had to think, okay, what are B-U-G? And then whatever Matt came up with, then had to write a song like based on that. And anyways, so a lot of people have been like, hey, we would love to like submit prompts for you to like do on the show. And we don't really want to do that because the line between ideation of an idea and like credit for an idea are like really like weird and blurred, where it's like, who's to say that you said, hey, write a song about, I don't know, like I'm looking around my desk, wallets, write a song about wallets. And then we write a hit song about wallets and it gets 1 million streams. And then it's like, hey, you owe me songwriting credit for giving you the idea of writing a song about wallets. I don't know. So it's like a weird, like, we just kind of like have to be kind of strange about it, where we have an agreement with each other that like, the prompts are the prompts and we understand each other, but we don't know what everyone else in the world is thinking. But what we thought would be fun is maybe have people send in icebreaker questions, just so that we had more of those from people, and y'all could interact with the show a little bit more in that regard. So, Paul, you're very funny. You said 2 things that have made me laugh today. Once in the Discord, I don't remember what you said, but you said something in the Discord that, oh yeah, it was when who I'm singing to won the vote, and he just said, "We did it, Joe." Wallets, though, he heated every star. It was a very funny joke. It was good. Emily says Paul is funny. Yeah, Paul is very funny. Okay. Anyways, so that episode is dropped tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do it at 10 a.m. Eastern time because I just want more people to be awake for it. So. So Ty Porter asked this. Me and my dad have heard you talking about your Songwriting 101 class that really helped you become a lyricist. I don't know. I've never taken a songwriting class, so I'm not sure. The only thing I can think that maybe I've said is I took Music Theory 101 when I was in college, that I attribute to like being the thing that like sprungboard me into music, where I took my sophomore year of college, I took Music Theory 101 because it was one of the general ed classes that I could take, and me and Kyle's our drummer, were like, oh, we can both take this class and we can both get it at the same time. Let's like take this class together so we can be in a class together. And so we took that together and sat in the back, and for a lot of it we played Flappy Bird. No, not Flappy Bird. Tiny Wings. That's what it was, which dates me and my iPod Touch to around 2011. Yeah, that was the thing that just taught me like, hey, like a major chord progression is 1 5 6 4, like whole half, and just like, okay, yeah, I know what notes. If I start at C, I know what notes go in that key. So great. I don't have to like guess at like what the next like note could be. I like know what it could be. But no, I never took a I never took a songwriting class before, just music theory 101, and that's like the extent of my like music training and knowledge. I have been meaning to kind of publish a video about what my like lyric writing process is, because I think it's actually very helpful and very interesting and very like actionable. Because I think a lot of, I don't know, I feel like when people ask me like, what's your songwriting advice? I'm just like, hey, just write a bunch, because that is true. You do just kind of have to write a bunch. You have to write like 100 bad songs until you start writing good ones. That's it doesn't feel actionable, even though it is. Technically, it is like, hey, like, just do it. I mean, any artist will tell you like, how do you get better at drawing? You draw a lot. How do you get better at, you know, basketball? You play basketball a lot. How do you get better at songwriting? You songwrite a lot. And if you think you're gonna go from picking up a guitar to writing something that you know is you know like you sit down and write a Dear McCracken on your first go, it's like, it's just not gonna happen. I've been writing songs for like 5 years until I stumbled my way into that. So but I have a process that takes the songs that you write. It's not a how do I write a song, it's a how do I improve a song process that I feel is very, very effective, at least for me, who is very kind of analytical. And I've been meaning to put together like a 10-minute video of how I do it, and give some resources. I'll get around to it. I have so much to do. Yesterday I was editing the London video, trying to get some of that footage ready. Matt did a lot faster than me, but I've been working on other things. So if you haven't seen Matt's London video on their YouTube, it's fantastic. What's your worst advice for starting? Think about all of the fame and money you're gonna make being a songwriter, and just keep that in your mind. Just like think, oh man, if I do this, it's gonna be so easy to be famous and make so much money. And that should fuel you. That should get you through all of the ups and downs of a career songwriting. So, and for anybody who joined after I said, what's my worst advice? I'm reiterating again the thing I just said. That's my worst advice. Cowboy Laser Cat, making a lot of small songs and projects when you're starting out, or doing a few super in-depth songs or projects. Yeah, so when I started out, here was my attitude, right? When I started writing songs, it was very, very easy to grow very, very attached to the things that I was writing. The first 11 songs, 12 songs that I wrote, I was like, great, now I have an album, which looking back on is very funny, because not only did I not have an album, I wasn't even 10% of the way there until I had a bad album. Not that Surge of Confidence is bad. I don't mean that Surge of Confidence is bad. I just mean Surge of Confidence is not commercially viable in the same way that Bug Hunter is. There's a reason that Surge of Confidence does not have as many listens as the rest of my music, and it's because it is it was a stepping stone to learning how to write more effective songs. Yeah, when you're starting off, don't get too attached to your first songs, because I was like, sure, my first like 15 songs, like this will be the first album, and I wrote 100 more, and you know, picked 11 from those 100, and none of them were in my first 20 songs. So yeah, just like I would say, don't go when you're first starting. Don't go super in depth. Don't like, I'm gonna write a concept album, you know, and this is gonna be my magnum opus. Just write. Just write about anything. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. That's okay. It's fine to be bad at things for a little bit. Or maybe it won't be. Maybe you'll be a prodigy. I don't know. You never know. I was bad. That's what I was saying. I was bad at first. now I'm at the point where I have so many songs that if I write one and someone's like, I didn't care for that, I'll just be like, cool, how about this one? It's different. Listen to this one. And you can see from the bracket, it's like everybody has different opinions about, you know, it. Even when Dear McCracken wins 90% of the vote, there's still 10% of people who like Listen to Your Mom better than Dear McCracken. So, you know, find an audience for everything. Yeah, Johnny Spade. I've written 40 songs, 6 of which I like, 2 of which people enjoy. That's a great hit ratio. If you've written 40 songs and 2 of them people like, you're doing great. Keep it up. That's how it's gonna go. Am I being called Funny Music Man? I don't know if I've earned that title, but do I have any silly musical regrets, big or small? What's a musical regret? A musical regret. I wish I had recorded Who I'm Singing To better. I wish I had given Echoes a little bit more time to cook before releasing it. I don't regret, I don't regret anything. It's been 6 months since Happiness came out, and I don't have any regrets about it. Bigger Than Myself. I don't know. Some things that are regrets, or some things are, I don't know, more like observations. Like I think about a song like Braggin', which is, I thought Braggin' was going to be a bigger song in kind of our discography, but what I found is that the thing that I did with Braggin', where I never gave the song like any part of it to sing along to, like there's not like almost nothing repeats in that song besides I'm bragging, which is not enough to get a sing-along going. So when I play it at live shows, you can tell the crowd kind of knows it, but they don't know it well enough to like sing it, you know. Whereas like a song like Making Up Words or Disco in the Panic Room, no matter how kind of fast or crazy I go in the verses, I bring it back around to this thing that people can latch onto. You know, the Making Up Words, you know, I've been making up words. It's this big sing-along, and sometimes the verses are a little bit of making up words, where they just like, they're kind of with me, and then everybody all of a sudden just knows the chorus. And Braggin' doesn't have that. There's nothing that people can like latch onto, and I think that's hampered a lot of like the popularity that song could have had, because I think it has a lot of like really clever lyrics on it, but I didn't give it like this like mass appeal that it could have had. So do I regret it? I don't know. Because does Braggin' need to be making up words, or can Braggin' just be bragging? It'd be cool to be able to play it more often, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to say. Sometimes I'm just like, well, maybe it is fine that songs just have a certain niche that they exist in, and you know, does every song need to be popular? I don't know. I think people like Braggin' for what it is, so. I'll tell you what though, London, I was listening back to the video recording yesterday. London did actually a pretty good job keeping up with Making Up Words. More than average. Do I have any pets? No. There's some really good shots of you singing along jams at the London show that I love so much, because you were Seemed like you were just having such a good time. Have I played Earthborn Rangers since last time? Yeah. Maybe. Since Wednesday? I think so. I think I played Wednesday and Thursday. I played like 5 days in a row. It was really fun. And I'm going to continue to play. But it's been the weekend. I've been hanging out with Ladybug. Did you record or will we see anything from the Seattle show, by the way? The Seattle show, we didn't get the board recording for the second night. It was a blank file when he gave it to me, so he messed it up. We did get the stage recording, so we have a crowd mic on the stage. It sits on the stage that records the crowd vocals so that we can mix those into the board recorded vocals. So we did get the stage mic, and so I do have a recording of the Happiness show and then like most of BTM because I forgot to hit play until like after Take It Back. So I do have like the HWAC show recorded, but it's just like a stage mic. So I don't know how interesting it would be to people. I listen to it and I enjoy it because it's awesome, but yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll put that somewhere. And then I think we got the rough draft playthrough recorded, but I haven't looked at it yet, so the chords for Shocking Plot Twist should be on Ultimate Guitar. All Bug Hunter songs are there. So. Yeah, Emily and Mars at the Pittsburgh show were the stars of the crowd mic. Cool. Why don't I play a song? What do y'all want to hear? Sorry I started a little bit late today. We were having I was talking with Ladybug and she's like, oh, I gotta go to lunch. So I was like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, I guess I'll hop on my stream. So play Hoops again. Yeah, sure. Deserve Me. I did play Deserve Me for you in Pittsburgh, Emily. I'm pretty sure it was Pittsburgh. Yeah. Deserve Teeth. I've been making up worms. I really do need to finish up The Chase. We have it recorded. I'm working on so many things. Starting to be at the point where like I might need to like get extra help with Bug Hunter. I'm just behind on everything. Been trying to do everything myself for like 2 years. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I can't keep up with everything. Swallowing teeth. Shocking ghost teeth. Okay. I might just play the next actual song that somebody suggests that's not a portmanteau of two of my other songs. Alright. Jane's got it. Hands up if life is getting stressful. And shout if you are saddened by the news. Woo. I need some tips to cope, some data, or some anecdotes, cause right now nothing's working for my blues. Sometimes I deal by playing music, and sometimes I relax by reading books. Sometimes I go downtown, climb a tree, and don't come down and throw a bunch of pine cones at people. A crowd has formed around my tree, just out of reach, and the police have blocked the street on every side. But no one can climb it, and I think it's cause they know I have a pine cone here for everyone who tries. I yell, I'm gonna live to be 100. I'm gonna see them cure disease, and I'm gonna watch them Yeah, if you need me, I'll be in the tree. There's several cameras pointed up into my tree. It seems the world's concerned with what I might do next. Throwing pine cones at photographers from up here in this conifer, like Tarzan getting scouted by the Mets. Yeah, I'm gonna live to be 1,000. Got robot arms and run on robot feet. Got robot legs and robot head. My robot ass don't know it yet, but I'd be better off back in the tree. So if you need me, I'll be in the tree, 'cause no one's asking what would drive me up this pine. Is it protest? Am I being paid to preach or advertise? No. This non-deciduous decision was all mine. You can show a horse the ropes, but no, you cannot make him climb. And this tree's a makeshift metaphor, and I prefer to think I'm just a stressed out Christmas ornament who needs some space to breathe. And if the camera crews in crowded streets and dozens of police are my endless pressures manifested down below my tree, then this giant stack of pine cones, they are the lame and immature ways I deal with them. But also how satisfying it is to do so to no one when they're not looking. Yeah, I'm gonna live to be 1,000,000, longer than the flowers, birds, and bees. But if I start to come undone, make like a tree and hug someone, yeah, everybody needs some space to breathe. Just recognize when it is time to leave. I'm probably gonna live forever, but should I die, and that may be preferred, take me out and bury me and plant a tree right over me, so I may help someone escape the world. Yeah, I may help someone escape the world. Thank you. Anytime that I play that song live and there's a photographer in the crowd, I always look directly at them whenever I say throwing pine cones at photographer line, and then I wink. And it always makes me laugh. Cool. Oh, a tree loves that song so much. Surprise, surprise. Jesse wants to know any cool stories about filming that music video. I'm sure that there are, but I don't have any because I was not there. That was filmed in 2020 in the United Kingdom, and I was in Seattle, Washington, but I was getting updates from the director during it. But yeah, I wasn't there for that, and I wasn't there for the disco recording either. But I was there for the Braggin video, which I was in. There were a lot of pine cones. I do know that despite there being many CGI pine cones in that video, there was an enormous amount of pine cones. And I actually, I have one. This is a pine cone that was actually used in that video when I went to the UK in 2022. I got to go to where it was filmed because we filmed the Braggin video in the same town, and the crew at Firewood took me back to their office where they filmed it, and they still had a bag in like their garage of like pine cones that they ordered for the video, and so I took a few home. So, and I didn't declare it at customs. It's fine. I didn't plant it. I don't think it's gonna invade my office. Yeah, so crime cone. Knacker wants to know if I had a pick of artists to do a cover of one of your songs, who would be the artist and what would be the song. There, at one point, Narcissus Cookbook did do a small cover of Part of Making Up Words many years ago, because I had recorded a small cover of like the last part of Simplest Words. And this is before we met, so we kind of, we knew of each other, but hadn't gone on tour, hadn't met yet, and they had just put out This Is How We Get Better, and I was like, oh man, the Simplest Word song is so good. So I covered the last little part of it and put it on Instagram, and I think Matt did the same with Part of Making Up Words on Twitter. That was really fun. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna have an artist cover one of my songs, who would be the artist and what would be the song? Taylor Swift, right? Like if I get to choose anybody, if I had to take my pick, if I wanted the maximum amount of exposure, if Taylor Swift just came out and was like, hey, here's a song called Dear McCracken, it's by this artist that is great, go look him up, boom, easy. That'd be cool. A realistic one who maybe has heard of Bug Hunter. Here's the bands that I know who Bug Hunter are. I know that John Wozniak from Marcy Playground knows Bug Hunter because we've met, and they brought me out to a show once. I know that Rare Americans know who Bug Hunter is because they follow us on Instagram, and we chatted in DMs for a second. Fountains, I've met when Marcy Playground brought me out to a show, he was touring with the lead singer of Everclear, Eve 6, and Fountains of Wayne. So I did get to meet all three of them, but I don't know for certain that then they went and actually listened to my music. So they've met me, but they said like, oh yeah, we'll put it on in the tour van, and I was like, great, but like they could have also just been being polite. So I don't know for certain that they ever listened to it, but for certain I know that at least Rare Americans have. I did message Cheekface once, but I don't think they cared because we listened to Cheekface in the tour van a bit, and so I was like, hey, like y'all were the soundtrack of our tour, just wanted to say hi, and they were like, thanks for being part of the team. It was a very kind of like canned response, so I don't know. Trying to think of who else actually would know who we are. I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe just those two. So, hey, if Marcy Playground wanted to cover a Bug Hunter song, that would be pretty cool. Trying to think of what would be a good one. I think seeing them do Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost would be pretty funny, because they kind of do like, they have some pretty nerdy songs. Grand Commander, no, yeah. Me and Grand Commander had a good little Zoom chat last weekend to say hello and get to know each other. So. Spence Hood, if you guys know Spence Hood, me and him are good buddies. Jesse, introduced by Jesse. Jesse played in both of our bands at different points. So, yeah, I knew Spence Hood before. Like, Spence would be like, hey, like, you got all these listens, how'd you do it? And I'd be like, I don't know. And then Spence blew up on TikTok, and just like totally unrelated. I've never been like crazy successful on TikTok. Most of my success was like Reddit and the Spotify algorithm. And Spence was just like, I'm going to do this TikTok thing and see if it works. And it, like, super did. And so, yeah, I don't know how much of if you know Spence Hood, like, put it in the chat, because I actually don't know how much of our audience overlaps, because I know Spence in person. I know Matt because of our algorithm. Like, I know that's how we met. And I know Grand Commander because of our algorithm. Like, I know our fan bases overlap because that's how we know each other. Spence, like, I just met him at Jesse's birthday party, and so I don't actually know if our listener bases like actually overlap. It seems like Emily and Cornfield know Spence, Jams know Spence, but through Jesse, so that doesn't count unless I would love to do a show with Spence. We try and get on Zoom every like six or 7 months and catch up and see what's going on in the world. So that's right, Spence did play one of my Zoom shows. Yeah, Yeah, I'd love to do some show suspense at some point. I think he's based out of Atlanta now. He was in Seattle, but I think he moved to Atlanta. So I'll have to check in on that. He was in Denver for a little bit. I think the last time I talked to him, he was in Denver, but now he's in Atlanta. Paul says the time that you and Matt did Making Up Words together on stream before tour was amazing. Yeah, that was the day of the Richmond show, and then we ended up, there was 3 shows left in the tour. There's Richmond, Atlanta, and Nashville. We ended up, Matt would normally come up on stage and do Be Glad I Love You with me, and starting that day, because we did it on stream together, we're like, why don't we just do Making Up Words together? And so the last 3 shows we did Making Up Words together, and it's fun. Yeah, it was really good. Cool. So I started late today. I know we're a little bit over what my normal time is, but I started like 20 minutes late. So why don't I play one more song? What do y'all want to hear? Go vote in March Madness. I'll put my bracket up again. This is the bracket. If you weren't here at the beginning, who I'm singing to beat Too Bad Than a Ghost yesterday in a crazy upset. The website holds more power than the Instagram vote. They're both worth 1 point, but it's about 10% of the people voting on the website as on Instagram. So yeah, and there's postcards as well that are acting as tiebreakers. Today is Making Up Words versus Bragging. Tomorrow will be Shocking Plot Twist and Platonic. Tuesday will be Toddler with a Slingshot and Waving Goodbye, and then I think I should see y'all on Wednesday for my Wednesday stream at 8 p.m. Eastern for the talk about Disco in the Panic Room, Creature Habit, and the rest of it. So we are halfway through round 1, and we're doing 1 vote a day, which should get us perfectly to the finals. Johnny Spade says Matt's backup vocals on Be Glad I Love You while drinking a soda made me laugh. Johnny, what city was that in? Because Matt never tells me what they're gonna do when they come out for Be Glad I Love You, and sometimes they don't even tell me if or when or how. They've surprised me. Was it Denver? Yeah, and I can't really see Matt because I am normally positioned about a foot in front of the other mics, so I have to like look back and like behind me in order to see what Matt is doing. And so sometimes people will be laughing, and I genuinely don't know what Matt is doing, if it's dancing or apparently drinking a soda. Little things that I don't know. So. Yes, Tuva says in the Vegas show they weren't going to because I think there was another mic. Matt set up a surprise mic behind like the little stage thing that we had, and then went around and like picked it up. There wasn't one on stage for Matt, so I was like, okay, Matt's not coming on for Be Glad I Love You, obviously. And then all of a sudden, Matt just like appeared holding a microphone. What do you want to hear? Yeah, and we should be announcing shows soon. Just waiting for Matt's visa stuff, which will hopefully be resolved in the next 2 weeks. So. None of that. You look fantastic, slashing me. I had your plan romantically for saving slash recapturing the fashion we had back when we had half the cash and matching dreams. So pack the math and make it seem like this transaction's happening. When fact is, this is a stick up with the money in the bag. I'm banking on a better plan to hit me any day. I'll take you on a date, split everything we take. So put on your best dress, babe. Robbing a bank. Let's recruit a crop of criminals, a crew to pull this off. Like a crew to day of crime, we need variety to spice it up. But an acrobat can't bend the story back where it began. And all the hackers on the planet cannot patch us up again. We can do this, just the two of us. Let's run the classic plan. I'll be the distraction and they'll never catch your sleight of hand. Ba-da, 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 ba-ba. This is a stick up with the money in the bag. I'm banking on a better play to hit me any day. I'll take you on a date, split everything we take. So put on your high heels, babe. I'm robbing a bank. With you, so I sat through all the hymns in my best shirt and shiny shoes. But a deal's a deal, so you took the wheel and we headed to our mark. You told me to lay low and keep my head down in the car. You were silent on the drive, it only hit me when we stopped. You had driven us right back to church. Oh God, this was a double cross. This is a hiccup, this you're gonna make me beg. I imagine this finale going off a different way. Not the 50-50 split I had pictured in my brain. Cause I would give up all the money in the bag, all the diamonds in the vault, and all the problems that we make for a happy ever after. I don't make it all okay. So for old time's sake, what do you say? Are we robbing a bank? Thanks everybody. That's robbing a bank off our new album, Happiness Without a Catch. Appreciate y'all. Jam's trying to start the next song in the comments. So funny. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, if you want to see me play that song and all the songs on Happiness, plus a bunch of other songs, March 20... was the Friday? Who could know? Who has this kind of knowledge in their head? It's Friday the 22nd. Yeah. Friday the 22nd in Richmond. That's where I'm based. I'm going to have more tour dates for the rest of the year. Hopefully by then. That would be lovely. Yeah, if you want to come see me play a whole set of Happiness Without a Catch all the way through, I'm gonna do that, and then my other set will be songs from the other 3 albums. So yeah, you can buy a ticket. There's about 10 left. So between now and the end of 2 weeks, it'll probably sell out. We got the perfect venue. I love it when we sell like just enough tickets where it's like, yep, everybody who wants to go can go, but it's also completely full. That's what we're hoping for. We got some pretty big venues for the US tour, so hopefully everything works out in our favor. But last year, if you tried to come to a show and you weren't able to because tickets sold out, or you came to a show and like that it sold out, like 2 months in advance, 2.5 months in advance, we've doubled our venues. So hopefully it's good enough, and hopefully that y'all still want to come to shows. Really hoping. Should be good. We're gonna put on a great one. So like Denver, we're playing at a venue that holds like 600 people. Last year it was 260 and we sold that out. So we're like, all right, let's make sure that we don't sell it out. It'll be good. Seattle, we have a show. We're gonna play in Detroit this year. Not Chelsea, Michigan, in our 100 cap little pizza parlor. We found a larger venue in Detroit. So. Should be playing in Boston. We have Boston, New York City, and DC lined up. So DC, it's actually DC, New York, Boston, August 16th, 17th, 18th. So that should be a really fun run of 3 shows. Really excited for them. And I'm going to be doing all the shows for sure. So those are all like lock in if you are in for Bug Hunter. Those are all happening. It's just whether or not Matt gets the visa that we need to come and do all these shows, because they've gotten very large and we have to. So yeah, cool. Anything else? What else I want to say? I think somebody already bought the postcard of the day today. I will double check it real quick. But if you didn't get the postcard of the day, we do have the half off postcards for the songs that are being voted on today, which is Bragging and Making Up Words. So yeah, we've sold out the bedtime story. postcard, so that one is gone. But you can get half off Making Up Words or Braggins postcard, and those count as the tiebreaker. So if you're sad about Too Bad and a Ghost being knocked out of the bracket, it's because nobody bought a postcard for it. So, cool. What town was Pinecones filmed in? It was in Stratford upon Avon. All 3 videos were filmed in Stratford, which is cool. We filmed the Braggin video in Shakespeare's old school, in like the gymnasium at Shakespeare's old school, where he famously played point guard. So, cool. I'm gonna take off. Thanks everybody. I'll be back on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Jam Mechanics drops tomorrow. I'm just gonna say now 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be a little later episode, but I want more people to be awake for it. Join the Discord. From our Discord, you can also join the Jam Mechanics Discord, and get ready. We do a live listen along when the show drops. So if you want to listen to the episode with us in the chat, then you can come do that. So yeah. Should be good. I think y'all are really gonna love it. So cool. I'll see y'all tomorrow at the Jam Mechanics episode drop, and then Wednesday at 8. And no matter where you are in the world, goobers, go to bed.